happy to be a member of the Global Trade Chamber and part of this amazing family. I joined maybe like a couple months ago, and my mom's now a member. Honestly, it's truly amazing to be able to sit on that stage.
My name is Maylee Ramos with Global Trade Chamber, and I'd like to welcome you again to our first annual International Women in Business Conference and Trade Show. I have the honor of presenting our president, Mr. Art Deco. Al is an experienced entrepreneur in the development and operations of chambers of commerce, sales, marketing, and business development. Al has served the South Florida business.
And this being the 10th year of the Global Trade Chamber, we're very excited to start this annual event to empower women to empower other women. How's that for a concept? Give yourselves a hand. One of our
well, anyway, thank you so much for coming. Like Al said, this is our first version of the International Women in Business Conference and Trade Show. And it's very exciting for me because at the very beginning, when we talked with Maylee about doing something for International Women's Day, the original idea was to do just a small networking event at our headquarters. But then, once we opened the registration, we started receiving, more registration, more people, and then we said, oh, looks like the space is gonna be small here, so we better move to another place. And then our sponsor, Ana Jimenez University, said, well, you're welcome to do the event here. So we said, great, so we're gonna do the event there.
Now, you heard all the titles, so you know I must be a Jamaican, right? Okay, so I have with me several props here, such as this mask, because as women, so many times we're not allowed to be who we are, and we have to wear all these various masks. Who has had to wear a mask in real life? We have to be a different person at work, a different person at home, a different person in our business. I'm here to say, just like Diana Ross says, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I've got to let it show. There's a new me coming out, and I just want to give. I just want to be completely positive, and that's what we're here to talk about today for the next few minutes. They put me as an inspirational speaker. However, I wear many, many hats.
I have to share with a group of women that I'm sure have spectacular backgrounds, have great stories, and have really done a lot of amazing things. And I thought about it and I reflected a little bit. And I really thought what really inspired me to share my story today was the woman that inspired me. And there were many that did throughout my career. And I'm going to take you back a long time ago because my career in banking is over 30 years. But that's not where I started. I actually started in the grocery retail industry. And in the grocery retail industry, I started as a cashier. And there was only two important things to be a spectacular cashier in that day. We were the first grocery store that had scanners, and we were also the first grocery store that you bagged your own groceries. So it was kind of the beginning of the DIY era, I think. And there was only two things that I had to do really well, and that was be quick on the scanner and be accurate. And I had 99% accuracy on that scanner, and I was the fastest cashier they had. So all the cashiers would ask me, Joanne, what do you do? How do you make your accuracy so well? How do you scan those products so quickly? So every day I would go in a little early and I would buddy up with another cashier.
We are the door of entry and exit for Latin America and the Caribbean. And I'm working very closely with Al and Maria Renee, the Global Trade Chamber, because we really are we're going to make Broward County the center for the world, right? Yes, yay. So everybody knows, that, there's different places around the world, Miami, that are known, but Broward County, really, we want to take it to the next level, and I'm so happy to be here. So basically, Maria Renee explained to you a little bit my role. I'm an economic development specialist. The Office of Economic and Small Business Development, we're one of the county government agency. And we have services for you, assistance services for you that are free, but they're actually your taxpayers' money. So I want to start with that because you need to know about them, because you need to take advantage of these services. Who doesn't like free services? Yay, okay.
As Maria said, I'm Andrea John Baptiste, and I'm a wife, a mother, a daughter, a sister, a volunteer, a taker of pictures. I don't call myself a photographer because I have no training, just a good eye, right? And I enjoy it. An entrepreneur, and obviously a woman, right? So I wear many, many, many hats, as every single one of you do.
Along that path where I'm pretty much there at this point. So I want to say thank you to you, and more than anything, if you have any employees, sit down with them and talk to them and learn about what they want to do and be their role model, because I can tell you that there's not one person in my life who does not know who Joanne is because I talk about her.
There was a time that I was much younger, finishing college, undergrad, and I started my career in law enforcement actually in 1982. I joined the Houston Police Department as a cadet, and the famous Lee P. Brown was...
So please allow me to talk to you about my journey and how I got here today. This book I dedicate to the 53 years of my life. It took me 50 years to write my story and 3 years to put it down on paper. Thanks to my husband and my family behind me, that I can do what I do and love doing.
Queen for several pageants. You can see all the bio on the programs that we gave you at the beginning of at the entrance. But I want to introduce you Cynthia. She has a very important story to tell. And what really touched my heart is when Maylee told me that she was a cancer survivor. At this young age, it's just so incredible and at the same time very sad to hear this story. But also she's a wonderful person, and I want to introduce Cynthia now. Thank you.
Good evening, guys. Happy International Women's Day. I am so excited to be here in front of all of you beautiful ladies. It truly is an amazing opportunity for me to be speaking in front of all of you who have 3 times the experiences I do, and I can obviously learn something from each and every one in this room. But the reason I'm standing in front of you today is because I'm your motivational speaker for the day. And while I'm only 21 years old, I'm an old soul. I do say that. When I was 13 years old, I was diagnosed with a gastrointestinal stromal tumor. It is a soft tissue sarcoma on the outside of my stomach. And it's been quite the journey since I was diagnosed. It was a battle of chemo, radiation, 2 surgeries. It spread to my right lung and my liver, but today I am cancer-free. So that is something that I am very, very proud of. But my battle didn't stop there. I was cancer-free, but I wanted to get involved and truly make a difference. I've always been surrounded by a family of doctors, and somehow the health field has always followed me. So when I graduated high school, I went straight to FIU on full scholarship. And today I am a pre-med student graduating double degree with psychology and chemistry and minor in business and public health. I will be going into a master's program, 1-year accelerated public health master's program, and then hopefully medical school. So it's a long road, a long journey that I'm very excited about. But what I've learned across my journey is that no matter the battles, no matter the struggles that you've been faced with, it's about having the mindset and believing in yourself. There's always steps that you have to take. And like making lemonade, like I heard today, I can totally relate to that, and that is something that I've personally come across in my life at such a young age. I've accomplished a lot, I would like to say, at 21 years old. I have been I have had the opportunities beyond my wildest dreams. I gotta say, while I was not lucky on one side, I was lucky and blessed because today I'm free and I'm able to make a difference. So to tell you a little bit of what I do on the other side, yes, as you heard, I am a pageant queen. I have graced the stages of some pageants, and today I am the current Miss Art Deco. I was previously Miss Perfect Glamour International, Miss Cuba previously, and one day I have one of my fellow pageant queens here who I look up to, Barbara Palacios, because she didn't know me, but I did take a picture with her. It is one of my goals to be on the Miss Universe stage, and that is coming. So I have a great team in back of me, but my major thing right now at the moment is I am working with two major organizations, three actually, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the American Cancer Society, and the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. I began simply at 13 years old after 2 years of the hassle of the battling and the constant battling of cancer. I decided that it was time to get involved. So I started speaking, and they offered me the opportunity to stand on stages and talk to donors and talk to families who are suffering from the same thing. And that completely changed my outlook on life, and something that I have done ever since. So my work from there only became even more, and I became more involved. So I had this craving of wanting to do more and more and more. And to this day, I still crave it. So at the moment, with Make-A-Wish, I am their speaker, and I also work with them, and I'm one of the members of their board. So I work directly with them. As far as the American Cancer Society, I am one of the first 10 chosen in the whole entire United States as a global young professional. So I get to work alongside their leadership to implement programs and strategies on how we can bring millennials in to the American Cancer Society, but not only by offering them a role in the community to prevent cancer, but also offering them a place where they can grow in any career path that they want. So that is the goal that we're striving for. And I've also, 21 years old, I have been to Congress. So I have stood in front of Congress members, and I have spoken to them on cancer prevention, cancer screening, cancer research, which is something very near and dear to my heart, something that I worked on for 1 full year with UM, and something that I will and still continue to do. So I have done a lot, and the work has only continued. And I'm honestly standing in front of you to tell you that every day, the biggest lesson that I've learned is that it doesn't matter who it is, it doesn't matter who's standing next to you, who's looking at you, the person next to you, whether they've accomplished more or less than you have, can teach you something.
Extremely honored to be here, especially speaking in front of Barbara Palacio and Alotero, obviously. Thank you to you. You know, I proudly hold your title. I am Ms. International World Global, which came out from Alotero here.
Barbara has a degree in advertising and marketing with a master in theology and psychology in the United States. She has hosted many successful television programs such as Latin Grammy, Miss Venezuela, Miss Universe, among others. Named by People magazine, the magazine People en Español, as one of the most powerful women of 2014. In 2016, she was honored by the U.S. Congress as one of the most influential Latina women in Hispanic community in the United States. Founder and CEO of Barbara Palacios Network, creator of her own platform of the T9 Steps to guide people in achieving a well-balanced life. And I forgot to tell you that is something important. She was also Miss Universe 1986. So let's welcome Miss Barbara Palacios.
Wow, what an incredible event. Thank you very much. I'm so proud and so privileged to be here tonight. And after these wonderful women, it's incredible to speak about something that I have to tell you today, because after all these stories, after all your backgrounds, after all what they say the first three panelists, is incredible. And it's incredible because women are incredible. All right. That's right. And you're here, and thank you, all of you, to take the time to say, I want to be here. Also, thank you, all men are here too. My husband is here too. And thank you for support us and support women. Well, as I told you, I'm so excited because this is an incredible opportunity to speak after exceptional and beautiful group of women. First of all, I want to tell you a little bit about, you already said my background, but I want to say you because also it's important that here tonight we are women for different parts of the world, as you already said. And my life started in Spain. I was born in Spain, in Madrid, and then 1 year and a half, my parents moved to Venezuela, who is really my country, where I was grew up and I did all my life until 20 years ago that I have the blessing to come to this wonderful country and start a new life here. And my two boys, they grew up here and they are already 24 and 19 years old. And when you have to leave your country in different situations, like my country sadly has faced for the last 18 years, and you don't have a country to go back, you have to make this country, in my case, United States, as my country. And I want to tell you that at the beginning, when we just came and we had to learn English and we had to learn so many things, I was really sad about my accent. I always said, wow, I had a terrible accent. And it was, you know, it was hard for me to start talking in English because when I heard my kids, and they spoke so good, of course, they speak so good, I always said, wow, why I have an accent? And, but today, let me tell you something, I'm so proud of my accent. Because my accent will be always unique. And, but also, my accent says more about me, says about my background, says about the places that I come from, says about the people that I represent, says the people that I could inspire. And it's incredible for me because I speak all the time in Spanish, and I go to many Latin countries and also in Europe. I always have to speak in Spanish. But today, this opportunity to speak with you in English is amazing that I'm here in front of you. Thank you for this opportunity.
And a lot of empowering of people for 10 years with the Chamber. We take a lot of interns in, we mentor young people, and there's absolutely no difference in the needs of the guys or the girls. Sometimes, in my personal experience traveling to other parts of the world, as somebody mentioned, is that women in other parts of the world are not treated equally. And I have personally experienced that when I go speak with Maria, and somebody speaks down to Maria, and then I go off. Because in today's day and age, there's absolutely no reason to treat a woman any less or any different than you do another man in business. And South Florida is a reflection of Latin America, the Caribbean, and other parts of the world, that they come here with that mentality, and it's horrendous. So we need to take leadership, because we have a female CEO, obviously. And we have to start this effort and awareness that if you don't treat me equal, I'm not going to do business with you. So we can control how they act by you not doing business with these idiots. They treat, we won't, like less than they are. Salespeople, many executives, if we hit them in the pocket, which is, I'm not going to buy your car because, and we had this problem with the gym. We went to a gym, and the guy was completely ignoring Maria Renee when she was applying for the membership. I mean, totally chauvinistic person.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
And he
forgot, that's good.